Well, 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 what do you know? The truth finally comes out. That's the nice part about being someone on the side of truth is that eventually the truth will come out no matter what. Like, you can only lie about something for so long before eventually you just cannot deny the truth. What makes this even more juicy is the fact that it's coming from such a staunch Democrat's mouth, which basically confirms what all of us have been thinking this whole time. But I don't want to spoil any more of the good news for y'all. So I'm just going to let Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, do the talking.
You want Joe Biden to win. Do you think that Haley or Trump would be easier to beat for him?
Well, first of all, I think she's one of our better surrogates, so I hope she stays in. Hope she does well tomorrow.
All the nasty stuff she says about Trump.
She's spot on 99% of it. So I'm enjoying this primary, and I hope it continues. So I wish her luck. But look, Trump's the nominee. We all know that. You know that. Everybody out there knows that. And I think the polls are suggestive. She's going to get well up tomorrow, and then she'll make a case, I guess, just to continue in this. But again, I have no problem her continuing for as long as she wishes, because I think she's making a good case against Trump.
Head-to-head polls suggest that she would clean Biden's clock. Yeah. And it's a tougher race.
Trump's the nominee. Everybody knows Trump's the nominee.
So
there's not a state that, with respect, there's no evidence to suggest, there's no polling to suggest, there's nothing to suggest, momentum or otherwise, that she can win any state.
Wow. Just wow. Literally what we all have been saying this whole time, and now finally we have proof once again that we were not the crazy people, that the people telling us that we were crazy were actually the crazy people. Like, if even Gavin Newsom says that Nikki Haley stands no chance at winning the presidency, how are there not Republicans screaming about election interference about this? Because obviously all of the funds that are funding Nikki Haley's campaign are not coming from Republicans. Most definitely not coming from Republican voters. But I would be willing to say that they're most likely from Democrat conglomerates. Like, this lady raised supposedly $73 million, and I have yet to find a single Nikki Haley voter out in the wild. The only people that vote for Nikki Haley are Democrats. Like, I don't know anyone. I've never met anyone that would vote for Nikki Haley. I don't understand how the Republicans don't just kick her out and say, look, you're obviously rooting for the other side. You're obviously just over here to try and, distract attention away from our candidate who is actually the most likely to win, according to Gavin Newsom. If even Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, can see it, why can't the Republicans in our own party see it and do something about it? Because if us, the Republicans, were doing this to the Democrats and we had a candidate that we were funding with Republican money in their primaries, stealing away votes from their primary candidate, then for a fact the news media and the Democrats would be on TV every single day screaming about how this is election interference and this is undemocratic and we don't live in a democracy anymore and blah, 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 blah. But no, because the Republicans are spineless and don't have any guts, they just sit back and take it. Almost like if you've ever seen that movie Animal House, that fraternity from Animal House where, you got to bend over and take the spankings from the head frat dude. And every time he spanks you, you got to say, thank you, sir. May I please have another? It's like the Republicans are those guys, not the guy doing the spanking. The Democrats are the guys doing the spanking. The Republicans are the guys in a line in their underwear getting spanked, asking for more. It's like the Republicans just enjoy losing. And then people wonder why people vote for Donald Trump. Well, because we tried voting for Democrats and they do the opposite of what we want. So we voted for Republicans and, well, they don't do anything at all. So most people at that point are just like, well, fuck it. Maybe that guy, the orange man over there with a bad comb over, maybe he will fix it. And what do you know? He actually does more than all of them combined together. It's just a sad state of affairs, man, that this is where the political culture war has gotten in this country, where the people who have the moral high ground should be using it to their advantage aren't, and are literally forfeiting the moral high ground to the other party, because I'm pretty sure at this point, Republicans don't actually do anything when they get elected into office. We just keep electing them, and when they get into office, they just sit there and twiddle their thumbs and don't do anything about the problems that they were complaining about that we elected them to fix, because they want to get reelected because there's no term limits and they don't know what they're going to campaign on if they don't campaign on the same thing they campaigned on last time about how the Democrats are just ruining everything. Like, I'm fairly certain that that is the primary Republican strategy for almost all Republicans at this point. Like, they don't do shit. They just sit there and complain about things when they don't have any power to change it. But then, when we give them the power to change it, what do? Nothing. They wait until they don't have the power to change it so that they can then complain again about the problem that needs to be changed. No, guys, we're sick of it. Like, we see your game. We've seen it this whole time. The only reason you're getting our votes is because you're not Democrats. Although, at this point, you might as well be, because if you're not fighting the Democrats, you're on their side. It's time for real men to stand up and to fight for what is right. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. Hard times make strong men. This is the cycle of life.